Hey, I'm back with another Flox tip and trick. This one's about how you work with Flox with AI tooling and what you're doing with your AI SDLC. And the interesting thing is there's more than one way to do this. So I'll show you a couple different options. First thing you can do is you can just activate and then call your AI tools. This is often what I'm doing when I'm running software. I activate so that I have all of the environment variables and packages on path and all the things happening. And then I just open up my editor of choice. And so if I want to do Codex, I can just do Codex dot, and it just pops up, and you can see that over here. And I can just start working on this thing together. You can close that out. You can do the same thing with anti-gravity or Visual Studio Code or any of the other tools that are based on the same platform. If you go look at this, we have our own Visual Studio Code extension that is Flox. You can activate environments, deactivate environments, work with services, things like that. And so that's available for VS Code. It's also available for any of the VS Code permutations, I guess, which would be anti-gravity, cursor, augment code. I'm sure Kiro. I'm sure there are several others that I'm forgetting. But it works like that. So you can activate and then start your application. It will load with that context. One thing to watch out for is if you're doing an update and you relaunch it, it will not have the same context. So you'll want to go back to the command line and launch it again manually so that it will inherit that environment. Another way to do this is using our Flox agentic repo. And so this contains an MCP server. It also has skills and plugins that can be loaded. It was written for Claude, but obviously most of the other AI systems have adopted those interfaces at this point. So you can add plugins and marketplace. And so like I have this configured to work with Codex and anti-gravity and Claude. And you can work with it that way. And so you can just tell your prompt, hey, go build me an environment that does this, or I need these extra packages for what I'm working on right now. And it knows how to search the Flox catalog, find what package it's looking for, install it, making sure the environment's active. Sometimes it will just call the environment from a one shot, like a Flox activate -C, and then a shell command to throw what it needs to do to get things done. But this gives a lot of context and information to however you're working with AI. So that's kind of 2 or 3 different modes where we have from the command line, you can open things up after you activate. You can install these Flox agentic tools. You can work with our Flox Visual Studio Code plugin. Happy working with Flox and AI.